You are now tuned in to Where It Counts.
Now, I'm going to let you know up front, this video is for Black leftists and Black leftists only. If you are white and you are watching this, understand that you are just a fly on the wall. You know, one of my favorite and most important lessons that I learned in the military, it's called Operational Risk Management, or ORM. Now, the concept behind ORM is before you go into doing something, you must first identify, analyze, and plan for as many risks as you possibly can and not hurt yourself and or others. I know everybody's very much for Medicare for All. It's very popular and all this other stuff. And a lot of Black leftists have been pushing for this in a very specific way. I have concerns. I have at least 3 major concerns about how this movement towards Medicare for All is being carried out. Also, it has everything to do with race, racism, and white supremacy. Just to let y'all know, this is what we fucking talking about. So guess what? Here's your heads up, my nigga. Concern number 1. You niggas know that in our community, your word is bond. And when you extend your word to vouch for people, we are going to trust you. I have watched you guys let white leftists attack Black people, talk down to Black people, condescend to Black people, and you have never once stepped in. Now, I am a person that understands that it is not a Black person's job to educate or take care of white people and their journey into getting away from the idea of whiteness and white supremacy. But because you have vouched for these people, now it's your job to assist them. Now it's your job to make sure that they are every bit of what you say the fuck they are, but you don't do it. Which brings me to the second concern. Since y'all not doing this at the bottom level, the base level, the level within our community, but you have this bright idea that you need to ally with right-wing groups, violent groups, to meet your ends, that this has to be through class solidarity. We have to get Medicare for All for class solidarity. So we just have to work with these groups, as unsavory as they may be, because we have the same goals. And the addendum that you add to that is that now you have an opportunity to bring these people from the right to your side. But I have watched you not check the white leftists who do racist things around you. So I do not trust that you will do the same with these people. Not only do I do not trust it, I have watched y'all make fucking excuses for why you need to be around these people. I have watched you bitch and moan, complain, and fucking talk shit about everyone who brings up their concerns about you allying with these people, instead of checking them. A lot of you think that's none of your fucking problem. So you want me to follow you in trusting white supremacists, their sympathizers, and their associates. I have watched information be brought to you niggas, and y'all just brush it aside and say that everybody just doesn't know how to organize. You guys are just too dumb to fucking do this right. Why? Because these motherfuckers were at a protest with you one time? Because they helped you set up tables, nigga? Because they came and stand next to you with a gun? That's all the fuck you need? That's why you work with them. Because you think they have your best interests at heart. And you say this despite the fact that somebody can come to you and be like, hey, look, these groups that you want to work with, they've all been in Charlottesville during the Unite the Right rally. And they were not there to protect the Black people who were getting beaten and maimed, or the people who were getting run over by a car, or the white girl who got killed. They were there to also be a part of uniting the right. And what do you tell them? That ain't got shit to do with me. They were there at the protest. Here are countless accounts of these people talking behind closed doors about how they plan to infiltrate the space you are creating and use that space to their ends and means, which are not the same as yours. They have other fucking plans, and they want to use you for them plans. And what do you tell me? That ain't got nothing to do with me. They was at the protest. You can have your boogaloo friend come to you to your motherfucking face and say, yeah, we do have white supremacists in our organization, but that don't mean that we're all racist. That's a good enough response to you? You gonna let that white man tell you the same thing that a cop would tell you? You gonna let that white man tell you the same thing that a liberal or a conservative or a MAGA motherfucker tells you? That's good enough for you to lend your word, my nigga, to these people? Seriously. With no evidence that they do anything to handle their white supremacists in their organization. Well, this brings me to my biggest concern. A lot of the white people you are following, a lot of the white people that you are letting lead you by the fucking nose, say that we can't focus on race. We don't want none of that id pull shit. The only way we can do this is through class. We gotta reach across the aisle. But I'm watching you niggas not understand that you are trying to build an institution while also ignoring any and all of the implication that institution has for marginalized people. Now I'll break it down for you real quick with an analogy to help you out. Let's say you laying in your room and your mama kick in the door and be like, boy, why you treat my house like any old kind of thing? Look at all these clothes everywhere. Boy, clean this room up. And you turn around and say, bet mom, I got you. And the first thing you do is grab your dirty clothes and fold them. Then you put them in the wash. That sounds like you're exercising energy that you don't really need to spend. So I ask you the same question. Why would you build an institution without taking into consideration how that institution affects people? And your white counterparts will sit there and tell you, well, hey, we can just take that apart afterwards. Why? Why not build the shit without it in the first place, my nigga? Why aren't you talking about this? If you appointed yourself as the ambassador of niggas, as the person who's going to bring black voters into the circle to help this movement, you are not talking about the concerns or the way that medical practices fuck us over, why would you think that anybody would trust you? You think all these other niggas are stupid? You think all these other niggas are blind? Why do you think they have reservation? Do you understand that black people who give birth are the most likely group to die from childbirth? That comes from white supremacy. That comes from a white supremacist system. And it has nothing to do with class. Now, I'm just not talking about for me as a woman. For you too, my nigga, there are things, health concerns, that black men, and I'm saying a lot of the leftists who are doing this shit are black men. You too, my nigga, have health concerns. Things that kill you at a larger rate than the white people you motherfucking work with, and you are allowing these people to talk to you as if none of that fucking matters. I am not a trans person, so I can't speak on them, but I understand that most trans people have medical things specifically to them that they have to deal with. And I understand, and I've listened to enough trans people to know that they deal with medical issues that come up because of transphobia. And you guys are not paying attention. I know you're not talking about that shit. You ain't talking about my shit. You are not talking at all because it's id pole shit. That's within the very system you're trying to upheave, built by the very liberals and conservatives you are trying to convince to pass your new shit. Now, those are my concerns. Here's the thing that pisses me off. I have watched you let these white people talk to people like myself any kind of way. The majority of the people who are voicing the same concerns I am voicing to you are black women. And we do that because we are just as much children of the society that we live in, and we are trained to give a fuck about you all the time, every time. We are trained to have your fucking back because we know those motherfuckers will not. We know that those white people who have so many good intentions, they don't even understand the things that they need to look for to keep you safe. We do though, and I am watching you niggas let these fucking white people talk down to us, lecture us, be condescending to us, and not once have you stepped in to check the people you motherfucking vouch for, but you expect me to join you in your fucking crusade. You don't check them out in our community. You don't check your allies, and you are not checking the system you want to fucking build. You expect my community, you expect my people to follow you while I'm watching you demonstrate that you have no sense of self-preservation. Do you not get it? We are all we have. When we were killing these motherfuckers on the goddamn boat, it was together. When we were killing these motherfuckers and getting our freedom on goddamn land, it was together. And how fucking dare you throw away that legacy just for class reductionism? That shit don't got nothing to do with you, right? I know some of you niggas are gay. Now, I don't know when you came out, but me, for 21 years, I've been out. And not just out to my friends and family, but in the community, putting in work. So I have watched these white people use us before. I have watched these white people use us for their AIDS campaigns, for their child adoption campaigns, for goddamn gay marriage. And you know what the fuck we got in return? Cops at our motherfucking prides. Well, we get kicked out for voicing our concerns about why you have motherfuckers who kill us here. You know what we got in exchange? Neighborhoods that we can't fucking live in because those were the motherfuckers who gentrified that place in the first place. Fucking social areas that I can't enter because these motherfuckers put in dress codes that are specifically geared to weed me out. They left us dying, nigga. Dead, nigga. This is what we got. This is where this shit comes from. This is why I can see it. Now go ahead. Ignore my warnings. I truly, genuinely hope that I'm wrong. I hope these white people do look after you. I hope these white people, after they build the system or during the time they build the system, they see that now is the time to, I don't know, make sure that system does not still have pockets of homophobia, racism, patriarchy. I hope they pay attention to that. Go out there and do what the fuck you need to do. But don't you fucking dare expect me to throw my life away. Why? Because you want to build Medicare for all? Because you want to give me a system that will just let me die for free instead of with a fucking debt? Fuck that. Since you're so hell-bent on hurting yourself, go fucking do that. Since you don't give a fuck about the black women who are trying to save you, who's trying to help you see what the fuck is coming your way. Since that shit don't matter, since that shit ain't got nothing to do with you, bet, nigga. I wasn't at the protest. I will be back here, minding my business, with the triage kit, so when they do what the fuck I'm telling you they're going to do, you can come back to me and I will treat your wounds. And you and I both will go back to the motherfucking drawing board. But who knows? You niggas don't listen most of the time. You don't care most of the time. The shit ain't got nothing to do with you. I wasn't at the protest.